this video, we shall learn how to find the limit of a given function as its input approaches infinity. Here we have to know what infinity means. So infinity here means a large value that we have not seen, but we assume that that value or that number is very, very what? Large. Now, not just a large value, there can be a, a very small value. So infinity, when it comes to positive side, we assume that the value or the number is very large, but we cannot identify that number or we have not seen that number. But when it comes to the negative infinity, it means the number is very small, but we have not identified the number. So let us use the number line to get what I'm talking about. So when you take your number line, suppose you have a number line in this form. So we always start from 0 being at the middle. So let me put my 0 over here. All right. Now, all the numbers here are positive. All the numbers at the right hand side of the 0 are positive, and the ones here are negative. Now, because of this arrow, it implies that we have other numbers that we cannot identify. But you will see that as the numbers move away from 0, they continue to increase rather instead of decrease. So the number that we are going to get will be very, very big. But just that we cannot identify the number, so we denote or we represent the number with infinity. So at the right hand side, we are going to get positive infinity. Now, when you take the left hand side of 0, as the number moves away from 0 towards the left hand side, the number begins to decrease. So here we are going to get a very small number at the end, but we don't know that particular number. So we illustrate the number or the value as what? Negative infinity. All right. So you will see that the moment the number gets away from 0 and it moves towards the left hand side, it is approaching negative infinity. And when it moves towards the right hand side, it is approaching positive infinity. All right. Now let's learn how to evaluate a function. That is how to find the limit of a function as its input approaches infinity. So let's look at this example. We have to find the limit of the function 1 divided by x as the input x approaches infinity. All right. Now, we don't know the number here, but the assumption is that the number is very, very large because this is a positive infinity. So let us assume that the number is 1. So let us look at it and see if the number is 1, it's going to be 1 out of 1. Wherever you see x, you put 1 over there. So it's going to be 1. Now, if the number is 2, we are going to get 1 over 2, and that will give us 0.5. Now let's continue. Suppose the number is 10. Suppose the number is 10, x is 10. It's going to be 1 divided by 10, and this will give us 0.1. Now, suppose the number is 100. As we move away, suppose the number is now 100, x is 100. It's going to be 1 out of 100, and this will give us 0.01. Now, you could see that as the number increases or as the number moves towards positive infinity, the value that you are getting when we evaluate is getting close to or is getting closer to 0. So anytime the number, that is the value of x, increases, you will see that the output that you are generating is always decreasing and it is getting closer to 0. You see that when you divide, suppose the x here is 1,000, it's going to be 1 over 1,000, and this will give us 0.001. So as we approach infinity, the output also approaches 0. So we can conclude that the limit of the function 1 out of x as its input x approaches the limit of the function 1 out of x of the function 1 out of x as its input x approaches infinity is the same as 1 divided by infinity. So it means x is approaching infinity. So we are going to apply the concept that you have just learned. So you could say as the number increases, as the number becomes bigger, the output also get closer to 0. So is here will give us 0. So the limit of the function 1 out of x as its input s approaches infinity is equal to 0. So the answer here is 0. Right. So let me conclude. Lim of 1 out of x as the input s approaches infinity is equal to 0. Thank you for watching.